Gloria Loriano is on with us to make sure you guys are crushing this. This is huge. I mean, I like to see it's 12 o'clock. We always like to start these calls on time because my time is valuable. Your guys' time is valuable. So we want to make sure we get these in, get them going. And man, for those of you that were on early, you kind of heard my little spiel here is DOP, digital operating platform, which is now supposed to be called guided sales flow. Used to be called BTN, but BTN is not a system. That is a network. That is a color of a SIM card. But guided sales will elevate web. That is the way of the future. This is going to be our only option. So as we push to get you guys to 100%, we want to make sure that you guys are doing basically black and white SIM cards for every single activation you guys are doing out there today. In a couple of months, this is going to be a moot point because you will not have an option because the old way of doing SIM cards, your old SIM card network, that will go away. The old sales portal is going away. That is set to sunset at the end of April. That portal was owned by, that was Sprint's portal, right? Sprint's portal owned by T-Mobile. The agreement that Dish had with them is running out towards the end of April. So I'm sure everyone on this call has gotten a call from your DCI of saying, hey, we got to get to, 80, 85%, right? And they do factor out like ACP activations because sometimes you do have to do an orange SIM card or an add a line to an old family plan. But that's a DCI. We're not ordering orange SIM cards anymore. We stopped that about 2 weeks ago. So like the stuff you have, what I recommend is put them in the back, make sure manager approves every sale. If it's someone who's got to get a orange SIM card, tell the manager about it, make sure the manager approves it. And if you have the opportunity to do the black and white SIM card, you are going black and white all day, every day. Guys, this is number one priority. So this is why we're doing this call. ACP has to be an orange SIM card. It's all ACP question mark. Yes, ACP right now is orange SIM card only, but stay tuned on that. You might have some information at the end of February, hint, where you can do that on black and white SIM cards as well. It is coming, guys, right now. But what I'm saying, when we look at your percentage wise, like if your store is at 75% or your store is at 65%, the ACP is not an excuse of why you're at 65% because those numbers are pulled out. They're factored out. So when they look at your percentage that we're updating you guys on, this is truly what you guys are doing at your stores. So with that said, I want to thank Gloria again so much for hopping on and getting this rolling. You guys, if you have any questions, this is an interactive training. Please feel free to unmute your phone or stop us any time and ask your questions because, again, this is super, super important. We need all of our customers to be doing every activation on the black and white SIM card whenever possible. And for those of you that may be new to Elevator, maybe don't have Elevator, or a lot of our AR doors that may be on this call or multi-carriers, you didn't have the paid version of Elevate because there was a time when you had an offer where it was free. Well, you're going to want to change that, and Gloria will kind of talk about those benefits. So with that said, Gloria, I see your screen. I'll pass it over to you, and let's go ahead and get it started.
Well, good afternoon. I want to thank Adam for inviting me to this call today, and we're going to go through some of the basics with Elevate Web. As Adam says, we do call it Elevate Web, DOP. We call it GSF, right? As I've always said, DOP is within GSF, right? So we're hand in hand with Dish. Working on these platforms. A lot of the dealers out on the fields, such as Marcelo and Gina that come from DCI, which is KG Premiers, they have helped a lot in developing this platform for you all, right? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go through a couple of steps. Now, Adam does have this training deck, which he will be sending out to all of you. And it's it's an interactive deck. You're going to be able to click on the links on the deck, and those will transfer you over either to be training or to any videos that are on the deck. Okay, so the first thing that I want to go through is, right, Elevate Start, Elevate Up, and Boost Elevate. What are the three differences between our Elevate platforms? Right, the first Elevate platform, if you could all see, is pretty much, as I always call it, a shell of Elevate. Right, we were under the influence that we didn't know how fast we could get our multi-carriers onboarded, right? So yes, there was this option, which is free, but it's pretty much a shell of Elevate. It does not have reporting, It does not have marketing. It does not have inventory management, which is a real big push out on the field, especially with a lot of dealers that have allocations, right? Allocation means that if you have devices in your system, right? And I know that I have a couple of my dealers on this call. If you have Elevate Up or you have Boost Elevate, you're able to remove that inventory from the system, right? With
Yep.
Elevate
And just
Start,
real
you are
quick,
not.
Gloria. So just real quick on that point and why this is so
Mhm.
important. Having balanced inventory, guys, it's crucial for your success because Boost uses that information to forecast what devices to order. So if Boost looks on there, because all dealers are going to be using Elevate Web, right? It's going to be our only operating system. If Boost looks on there and they see, oh, you still have thousands and thousands of devices on your dealer shelves, when really we have none, they're not going to order more of that phone. Likewise, you may have seen on the inventory allocations from DCI this week, if your inventory was way off, like let's say pre-owned 11s, right, hot button item, and it shows you had 75 in your store, but you're telling me no, you have 0. You need to make sure your inventory is accurate because that's how they forecast ordering phones. That's how allocations help get decided. So it's super important you guys are balancing your inventory accurate.
100%. And for those of you that do not know how to balance that, I could probably show you really quickly here. For those dealers that we do have on the call, you will go into inventory. Adam, you can see this, right?
Yep, I got it.
Okay, so you could go into inventory, right? You're going to go into your inventory adjustments, and towards the right, you're going to see that there's an inventory adjustment screen. There's how to reconcile your stock. That's what you want to do. You want to reconcile your stock at least once a week. For those stores that are much smaller, then they could do it monthly, right? But I always recommend once a week. And how to zero out your inventory. Now, these features here, an AR Start does not have them. So they're not able to empty out their inventory. So watch these videos if any of you have any issues with on the how-tos to do, remove your inventory. Right? So next,
in other
the
words,
AR.
if just real, I'm sorry to interrupt you again.
No,
But
you're
in other
good. You're good.
words, as you're going to see through this presentation, if you're on Elevate Start, you need to change it. You need to go to Elevate Up. Elevate Start is not going to do what you're going to need to be a successful dealer with Boost moving forward, with Dish and all the focuses on policy. Elevate Start, it's bare bones. So yeah, it lets you see the system, but you're not getting the advantages. So I could not recommend higher if you are on Elevate Start to upgrade your Elevate package.
So with that being said, with Elevate Up, a multi-carrier or an AR location is going to be able to have the majority of everything that a PBR dealer has. So if you could see here, they'll have unlimited credentials. For those of you that have it now, your credentials are probably user 1, right? You'll have, let's say if you have multiple stores, you're going to be able to add that store to that same database. So you won't have separate store locations for those dealers that have 2 or 3 different AR locations. Now you could combine them all together. And it also has unlimited reporting, right? So that's one of the most important things. Also, you're going to have marketing. You're going to have the push POs, right? So we know that DCI has a push PO process, right? That's the Handshake Connect from DCI, where you order on their websites, then these phones drop into your system, and all you have to do is literally collect them from the PO order. You also have Time Clock Manager, as I said, and now you will be able to sell your accessories with the devices. So with Elevate Start, you're not able to add accessories to your shopping cart. All right? Now, for all of you that are PBRs and are branded, you have as what I've been hearing the dealers call out on the field, elevate premium, right? That'll also allow you to do your commission reconciliation, where it is that you'll be able to match with your ePay backdoor what you've been paid out on, right? We also added onto those reports, we added the BTN, right? So you have the function. ACP is not available. No, Julia, not as of yet. But it should be. It's coming. It's on the roadmap, so it's coming up soon. We are working on that. Any other questions before I go on?
If you're muted, you may have to hit *6, or else you can unmute your line. Or feel free to type in the chat box as well.
Oh yeah, we'll answer all questions. Okay.
No questions this time?
No questions. We're good. So, though that is Elevate and our three different price matches, and also with the Elevate Up, we have a promotion, right? So it was $40 with no setup fee, right? Now, what we're doing is till the end of the quarter, it'll be $20 and no setup fee. So $20 for a full database is a good price, and this will be for the life of the database. Rob, you have something to say? Rod? I guess he doesn't. But that will be for the life of the database. Okay? Now, why are we pushing this to all our dealers? As Adam says, we have right now, we have the white SIM, which is the BEDN. We have the BTN, which is the AT&T card. But as you all have heard, Dish has their 5G network out there, and that's the Rainbow SIM. This is already out in the market. It has launched in Houston as well as in Vegas. So we all want to be on board with the new Rainbow SIM, where we'll be able to also use the 5G Dish network. Right? So the things that we talk through, right, is uploading inventory into your POS. How important is for you to upload that device into your system? Very important, because if your device is not in the system, when you launch it through GSF, it'll come out as a BYOD. This means that you will not get paid out the full spiff of that device. Okay, so we want to make sure that is also that does not happen to any of the dealers that are on this call. Right? The sales process. The sales process is super easy through GSF. For those of you that have not seen it, at the end of this deck, there is a video. The video, we have it in English and in Spanish, so you will be able to see it in both languages. All right? Capabilities, GSF capabilities. What can you do on GSF? You could activate new lines, BYODs. You could do port in new lines, BYOD. You could take payments on an account, right? This means that you could take payments on the accounts from T-Mo as well as from BTN, as well as for the BEDN, right? We have all these abbreviations. Things that are coming up is now you could add multiple insurance on the devices. So that means that if you're selling 3 devices, all 3 devices, you're going to be able to add insurance to them. Right now, you could swap devices only through contacting care. So you do have to contact care for that. And the SIM swap devices as well, you will be able to contact care for that. Now, one thing that I have seen outside on the field, while being out on the field, is when the device when you're doing a return on GSF, just make sure to follow call care first because you may not have to do the refund. I'll be sending Adam at the end of the call as well. I'm going to be sending you the video for the refund screen on the how to do that. Okay? Now, you're also able to change plans, which wasn't something that you were able to do on GSF. You're able to do the changes of plans. As I said before, you're going to be able to click on any of the links once Adam sends out this to you. So you'll be able to see videos in English and in Spanish. Right now, we do have a Spanish trainer. He's on board, and he's transferring all our manuscripts that we have, or all our decks, from English to Spanish for those of you that have the language barrier, as we know. So we would be able to do that as well. Okay.
And Gloria, the easiest way to distribute these decks, by the way, for everyone on this call is I'm going to send them to all of your DCI account managers because I know I don't have everyone's individual email address, but every single one of your DCI account managers will have this deck. So you can just ping them and they can forward it to you, or they can push it out proactively as well. But I'll make sure every one of your DCI account managers has this deck with the links.
Thank you, Adam. So another issue that I've seen outside while on the field, and a lot of the calls that our support reps get, are the links for Boost Elevate. Right? For those of you, right, to install the links, if you have Elevate downloaded, so I'm going to show you here. If you already have Elevate downloaded, all you have to do is go into your B2B Help Center. Once your B2B Help Center opens, it'll give you, I think I'm on somebody else's. Okay. It'll come to this screen. This screen is the B2B Bible, right? This should be something that all of you know. This is your knowledge base, right? From your knowledge base, it'll have popular articles like how to process an activation or an add-a-line, how to perform an exchange device in GSF, which is very, very important. How to receive inventory without PO, right? If you need to download Elevate Web, all you have to do is enter Elevate application installation. It's going to bring you to the screen. It'll show you a video on the how-tos. And it'll also, when you start scrolling down, the link will be there, and all you have to do is install it. Okay, for those of you that have not been able to do that. Okay?
And guys, as DJ Khaled would say, major key, right? This is the major key. Okay? That B2B Help Center, this is everything where you guys have, like, it's hard. We have a 30-minute call to go through every single scenario. It's kind of tough to do, on one call. But everything is here. All these videos are here. They're all in that B2B Help Center. So no matter what scenario you have, this training and the videos for every scenario you're going to run into are here. So especially if you're new to Elevate Web, it's such a huge resource. It's kind of like the old sales portal for me was for Boost, right? Where the promotions, I click on the bus, right? For Elevate, this is where you guys go. This is where you find your answers. Ruth, I see you got your hand up. You got a question, Ruth Marie?
Ruth, unmute yourself so we could hear you.
Yeah, let me unmute you. Let's see if I can unmute you here. Looks like you have to mute yourself, Ruth. There, I can't. Let's see how I can do that for you. Or you can type in the chat box and we'll answer it.
Looks like Jackie also has a question.
Oh, we got
yes.
Ruth.
Can you hear me?
We got
you. We can hear you, Ruth.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I kind of missed some of the parts of it. I just wanted to know exactly what you were doing, and because this says that, and the screen had went back from what you were doing. I got a customer, so I was going to see if you can go back and re-explain it.
So how to access that B2B center where you can see all your videos? That's what you're referring to?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yep. So it's right on the top bar there. So Gloria, if you want to click on it
You're
again,
right here.
yep, right on top of Elevate. That B2B Help Center, that's your major key right there. And you see down below under popular articles, it's got everything: how to do your ad aligns, how to do a device exchange, how to receive inventory, all that stuff's right there for you guys. How to download the
Okay, cool.
POS. It's so helpful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Jackie, you have a question? We see that your hand is raised too.
I get. I've been having a lot of problems with the error message when I go to load the stuff to POS. I have no problem activating the stuff, getting through all the activation, all that stuff. But then when I go to load it to the POS, it seems to give me an error message no matter which one I'm on. Even if it's TN or BTN, it doesn't matter. It still always gives me an error message. And then I go through a whole bunch of trouble trying to get it fixed myself. And then I finally ask for help. And then when I do get help, they are able to do it, no problem. And I feel like it was making me look stupid because it didn't do it for them, but it was doing it for me. And I don't understand what I'm doing wrong.
Jackie, what's your client ID or your store name?
What do you mean?
So
Fenton?
if you're on Elevate, if you look towards the bottom of your screen, there's a 4-digit number. For those of you that joined after for the BTN, a lot of you have a 5-digit number, right? But if you look towards the bottom of your screen, there's a client ID. What's your client ID?
Okay, I'm not at my computer right now. I'm on lunch. I'm just kind of sitting out and looking at. I'm on here on my tablet.
Okay, awesome. So what you're gonna do is that when you get back, if you could send me that information, Adam, if you could reach out to Adam, send me that information, and I'll get somebody to help you with that. You shouldn't have to try to figure it out on your own. Okay? Because it could be something very simple, and you know what? And we could actually teach you different ways of doing it. Everybody has a different, way of teaching, or, we all grasp things differently. So just give me that information, and we'll help you out.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions before we go on? Adam, I think we're good there, right?
Yep. Looks all good.
Okay.
And you guys, if you have more questions, again, feel free to interrupt us at any time.
Yeah. So, right, at the bottom of this deck, we added how to add the SIM cards and devices to the inventory. So this is how to do it manually. If you were doing it with a PO order, yet again, let's go into that database that I have here opened. You would be going into inventory, and as you can see, you see these drafts here that are at the middle of the screen. You would hit one of those drafts, and then you would click on that order. Once you click on that order, this is what a PO push looks like. You would be accepting those devices, right? You would be clicking on, let's say, okay, it's telling me that I have one iPhone renew. It's in the draft. This is, as long as you check, match your IMEIs, which is also very important. Please match your IMEIs. Then you would go over towards the left-hand side, and you would click on post. These devices would drop into your database. Okay? I'm not going to accept this, dealers. because he has not received these as of yet. But that's the way you do it. If you're doing a manual, then you will hit on receive items. You will look for DCI, which is called debit connections. You will go over towards the right, receive express, and you will start scanning your devices. Okay? And then you would hit post. We do have a lot of features in our inventory management. As you can see towards the bottom right now, we have on the go, also has a PTO, has a push order. If you haven't connected to your on the go rep, you could be able to. For those of you that have purchased accessories from C2 Wireless, their catalog is also in Elevate. We are also getting voice comm now for those of you that are going to buy purchasing devices or purchasing accessories. Now, very important. As we know, and this is where it becomes very important for Elevate is a dealer cost. Yes, it is a dealer cost.
Yes, there was a question, who's paying for this? Our stores. Sorry for the confusion. Just want to make sure they know this is every dealer is paying for Elevate across the country, nationwide.
Any other questions? Because I didn't see that one. Thank you, Marissa. I hope I'm saying your name right. So as you can see, what's going to happen in the late future is this will be locking the product catalog. So that means that if you have any other devices, let's say any C2 accessories that you purchased before, and you had created that product ID, then those will be overwritten with the new ones. So you would just have to scan the accessory and you will find it, but it will lock it. So just to show you what that looks like, I'm going to choose one of the ones that are here. Let's go to one of the, and we're going to view it. What happens is it's locked to that pricing. You will not be able to change that. So it'll have a red, it'll be like in red, bright red. And as you can see here towards the right, you're not going to be able to change that device or that accessory pricing. Okay? So that's why it's so important. If right now you are an AR with the free, what's going to happen is that when you have those products, you're not going to be able to create any products or any additional products that you do have in the system. Right? And again, as we said, this is just showing you how to add and how to do those devices. Also remember, I can't stress it enough, and I know that Adam can either, is once you enter those devices, if you have Elevate Start, if you enter those devices, there is no way to remove them. So that's when you would have to upgrade. Now I'm trying to get our ARs to upgrade now for the valuable price of the $20. It may go up even more after they lock everything in the system. Okay,
so does
anybody else have any questions?
This was a call to action. If you didn't just catch that, Gloria said that real slyly. If you want the free version of Elevate, you need to get it now. If you're an AR door and you're on free, you don't have nearly the functionality. You don't have the handshake agreement. Your inventory doesn't go in. It's a challenge to get your inventory out of there. Instead of 40, it's $20. This is a small window. It's going to go back up. So if you're on this call, kudos to you for joining, and reach out to Elevate and make your changes today. Unfortunately, there was a big push when Elevate, they said it was required. They're like, oh, let's call dealers who were paying for it and saying, we'll give them the free version. Well, that's kind of backfired because the free version doesn't have nearly the features and doesn't have what's needed to be able to successfully run your guys' stores to the standards that Dish is now looking for. And like I said, allocation, your inventory has to be balanced and accurate. So that deal for AR doors, you guys, an absolutely necessity for you to take advantage of if you're not already.
So we got one question. So it says that if you have two cases and the exact same case but different colors and the prices vary, so we can't change them to be both the same pricing? No, not if it's locked. What you could do is that there is some modifications in your permissions, where as an admin, and then I would say an admin and manager, you should be able to either lower the price in the shopping cart or raise the price in the shopping cart. But that is permission based. And Rachel, thank you. You're awesome too. 10-4. So if you have any of those issues like that and you have, listen, I can't stress, we have a support team. This is why I am DCI's point of contact. But if you need support and you need to reach out to me, hey, listen, I'll send you support's number. I know that I put everything on that deck. As Adam said, the B2B help, we can't stress enough the B2B help center to all of you. Even an AR is able to go and look into the B2B help center. For those of you that say, hey, listen, Gloria, you're just telling us, yeah, you want us to upgrade. No, go in there and see the differences between the databases. You will be able to see the differences. And then again, I want to thank everybody that joined this call and also Adam for having me.